Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Chase of Rocky Mountain. Thank you for checking in. So I have the 3 new boots from Fox Racing that are all new for 2022. There's the Instinct 2.0, which is going to come in about $560. You've got the new Motion, which is going to be about $450, and then you have the new Comp, which is going to be the entry-level model, coming in the mid-200s. So today's video is simple. I'm just going to point out the major differences between these so you can get a good idea of which one you feel is going to be best for you. But we have product spotlights where I've gone through and I have thoroughly covered all the features of all 3. So go watch those product spotlights once you've kind of figured out which one you feel is going to be best for you. Now, that being said, here's what's cool that Fox did for their new lineup for 2023 and beyond is they went to a company in Italy, and they actually had that company who specializes in doing foot molds and foot shapes. And they said, hey, we want to have the same fitment for all 3 boots. So all 3 of these are using what they call the same last, which is just to say it's the same foot mold. So the fit, and I've tried all 3 of these on, the fit is the exact same. So if you bought a Comp, and then later on down the road you want to upgrade to the Motion, get the same size, it's going to fit the same. Honestly, it's hard to tell which one you're wearing if you're not looking down at your feet. So that was a big update. They've also increased the length on their boots. So with the previous Instinct, a lot of people talked about how it fit a little bit small. So they've made the length on all these true to size now. So if you wear size 10 in your sneakers or size 11, get that size in the boot. But they also do have half sizes available. They have a 9, 10, and 11.5. So if you're right between sizes, they also have those. We also have our fit guarantee. If you buy one of these, if you're not happy with how it fits, you can send it back a brand new unused condition. We'll make sure you get the size you want, and we'll give you free shipping both ways on that first exchange. So I'm going to start out with the new Instinct 2.0, and then we'll kind of work our way down again to the Comp, and we'll just explain the major differences to know what you are and aren't getting depending on which one that you're looking at. But first up, when you look at the Instinct and the new Motion, aesthetically, these 2 boots look very, very similar. And I'm glad to see that Fox did this because if you're looking at the Instinct 2.0 and you like this boot, but think, you know what, it's a little out of my price range, the Motion is going to be a little bit more affordable, you're not giving up very much between these 2. Here's the major differences. They have the same buckle design. We already talked about the fit. That's going to be the same. But when you look at these 2, one of the major differences is going to be with the hinge setup. So they both have the same hinge. However, when you compare the 2, you can see that on the back of the Motion, it's just a little bit more exposed on the back of the heel. So not quite as much impact protection here on the back. Also on the inside, so the Instinct 2.0 is using what they call an Ultra Tack material, which is super grippy on the entire inside of the calf guard here. Also right here on the inside of the ankle, as well as the entire lower part of this. It's a very grippy rubber. The Motion is going to have what they call DuraTack rubber up here on the calf guard, which is still grippy, but not as grippy as the Ultra Tack. But here's one of the major differences that I would point out is here on the ankle and this whole lower part, this is just going to be a textured plastic. And when you're squeezing the motorcycle, one big contact point is right here on the ankle. So this is not going to grip the bike as good as the Instinct 2.0 would. So something to keep in mind there. And then lastly, between these 2, the other major difference is that the Instinct 2.0 in the tongue area has a polyurethane insert inside the tongue, which makes this boot a little bit stiffer and a little bit more supportive. Getting feedback from the top level riders that are wearing the Instinct 2.0, they said, hey, we want to be a little bit stiffer. And so you get that polyurethane insert inside there, which is nice because one aspect about the Instincts that I love and the Motion is that they have good flexibility right out of the box, but the 2.0 Instinct is going to maintain just a little bit more of a supportive feel even after the boot is well broken in. And not to say that the Motion isn't going to give you support, it's just not going to be as stiff or offer as much impact absorption and support for those larger hits as the Instinct 2.0 would. But aside from that, they're pretty much identical. I mean, a couple small things here. You can see the Instinct has this Fox logo up here that the Motion doesn't. When you compare the 2 shin plates side by side, you can see that the Instinct shin plate is going to be a little bit larger than with the Motion. But aside from that, the fit, the performance, the feel on the foot pegs, pretty much everything is going to be the same. And also with these 2, something that I do want to show you is that they both share the same nylon fiberglass insert inside there, which is going to add support for the rider's foot, but they both also have this little piece of foam padding here that's very dense that is there to absorb impact for the rider's heel, and they're both going to have that as well. So looking at the Instinct and the Motion, if you're not quite sure, just know that you're getting about the same performance as the Instinct 2.0, just at a lower price. But if you're looking for the most grip on the bike and you like the idea of having a more supportive boot that is going to be more supportive over the course of its life, then get the Instinct 2.0. But the materials that they're using, the construction, is going to be identical on these two. Now, moving on to the comp. So again, this is going to be their entry-level boot. So with this one, again, price point, you're going to be in the mid-200s. This is all redesigned for 2023, which is much needed. And like I said, the fit on this is going to be the same as what you get on the previous two. What I like about the comp too is that even at this price for being an entry-level boot, I think aesthetically, I think it looks good. It's got a lot of the same characteristics as the Motion and the Instinct. It's got a nice low-profile toe box. So I think they did a good job. It's got the same buckle design. It's just going to have plastic buckles versus aluminum, but these are still replaceable. But really the major differences between this, and again, we're talking about the entry-level rider here. You're not going at those types of, those higher speeds. You're not doing larger jumps yet. And so you're not going to have a hinge system on here. So looking at it, you can see no hinge system on the lateral or the medial side, which means that it's going to be a little bit stiffer. This boot's not going to give you as much flexibility because everything's all connected, and you're not going to have as much lateral support for the ankles. So it's not going to be as rigid side to side. But again, at those lower speeds, not do as big of jumps, you're not going to need really as much protection or support as you would get with the Motion and the Instinct. But if you're improving and you want a boot that's going to be able to do that for you, go with one of the other two. Also with this, you're not going to have that foam pad or that insert that I talked about in the heel area. And of course, you can see on the back here, you're just not going to have as much impact protection on the back of the leg, and the shin plate is going to be pretty good size shin plate for an entry-level boot. However, again, you've got a nice gripping material on the sole. The sole on this is going to be replaceable just like the other two. And last but not least, the inside here, again, instead of having a grippy rubber material, it's just going to be a hard textured plastic throughout the entire inside here. But overall, again, for $250, so that price range, it's a solid boot. So that's really the major differences between this, the Motion, and the Instinct. And that's it. Those are the three new boots for 2023. Again, I was very brief today, so you want to go watch the product spotlight to learn all about these, but hopefully this will just kind of help you decide which one you feel is going to be best for you. The last thing I will mention too is that there is the Comp X version. So if you like this, but you want more of an off-road sole, a lug sole design that's going to get better traction if you're off the bike, muddy conditions, if you're doing foot plants on rocks, logs, things like that, if you're doing more enduro style riding and you want a little bit more grip on the sole, check out the Comp X. They also have the Motion X as well. Again, deciding between the Motion and the Instinct, they're pretty dang close. You just got to ask yourself if you're okay giving up, not as much grip on the inside, a little bit less impact protection. Not quite as stiff, but you save a little over $100, go with the Motion. If you want the best that Fox has to offer that all the top level guys are using, then go with the Instinct 2.0. If you have questions or comments, we'd love to get those answered. If you have one of these boots, I would love to hear your feedback, so comment below and let us know which one you have and what you like and dislike about it, and that's going to help other riders out. To grab your set today, click on the link or head to RockyMountainATVMC.com. We ship for free over $75. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and that will keep you up to date. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.